Hello, everyone. If you are like me, you have been having a blast using the Bitmoji classrooms in Google Slides to create your own virtual classroom. But if you are also like me, you might be finding a little bit challenging and difficult to keep your students on the page that you want them to be on, or to keep them on the page until they find the clues or the objects that you want to click. And while if you just have a one slide presentation, this is a lot easier. If you have multiple slides, this can be problematic. For example, if I am on my screen here and I go into the student view, and it looks like this, and here my students know that there's a scroll, and anytime they see a scroll, that's the clue. And so what is the capital of Arizona? The capital is Phoenix. And so they would know that I need to look at the Phoenix. The problem is that clicking on the Phoenix will get them to the site. The problem is, what if they click outside here? So if I click anywhere outside here, it's just going to take me to the next slide, and I don't want that. I want them to stay on here until they find that Phoenix. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I go about doing that. It's a fairly simple thing, and I'm going to do this by inserting another clickable object in the background. So I'm going to go up to Insert. I'm going to go to Shape. I'm going to go to Shapes and do a rectangle. I'm going to make a very large rectangle, a little bit bigger than my screen. I'm going to take this, I'm going to turn it transparent, and I'm going to leave it like that. You can also take off the lines. I also usually take the lines off and make them transparent as well. And so right now, this is an object in my screen. And so it is the biggest object. It's on the front. The second important thing is to notice that every one of your slides has a different unique ID. It's a different page to the different slides. So what I want to do is I want to stay on this slide. So I'm going to copy this, Control C. I copy this, and this is the address to this slide. I'm going to take my object, this is my main object, and I'm going to link it. There is a link button right here, but I use the Control K is a shortcut, Control K, and then I'm going to Control V to paste it. You can also right click and paste and apply there. Because the problem is, if I go here, it doesn't give me, it says next slide or previous slide. I don't want that. I want to stay on this slide. So I'm going to paste the address for this slide. And now we can see when I click on it, it actually says slide 2 is where it's linked. The problem is it's in the front. So no matter where the students click, if this was presented right now, wherever the students click, they are going to be clicking on this thing that keeps them on the slide, so they never would be able to find the Phoenix. What we want to do is we want to be able to get to that Phoenix. So I'm going to go right click on this object. This is the big rectangle, and I'm going to go to order, and I'm going to say send to back. And so now this object is in the far back. The Phoenix is in front of it, and that links to my puzzle. But here's another problem. The other problem is this object is now in the front. So if they clicked on this object, it would actually take them to the next slide still. So I want to make sure I have everything in the background that I don't want them. So if I click here, now anywhere I click, it's going to keep me on this slide, except for if I click on the Phoenix, it will take me to that. Or if I click on this, and this is where the problem, if I click this, it goes to the next slide, which I do not want. So I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to take this object and I'm going to right click and I'm going to send it to the back. So I'm also going to send it to the back. Now it is behind my big screen. The only thing in front of my big screen is my Phoenix. So when the students come to this slide now and they figure out the clue, they see the scroll, what is the capital of Phoenix? What is the capital of Arizona? And they click on here, they have no idea because everything is basically a linkable thing now. It's just linking to the same slide. So they finally have to realize, oh, it's Phoenix and this is Fox of Phoenix. So I'm going to click on Phoenix and now, bam, it unlocks the screen. And so they get to play the puzzle, which they have to figure out what type of biome it is and give me that answer. But it takes them to that place and they'll play the puzzle. And then when they're done, they come back and they can come into the and put the answer in. So one thing I do want to talk about, the last thing is I want my students to be able to come back to the main page when they're in that present mode. So I always do add another link that actually takes it to the very beginning screen. And that's a pretty quick and easy. I'm going to upload my home screen and come in here and pick my image that I have for my home screen. I'm going to shrink it down. And now this is going to be a linkable thing to my first screen. And I'm done. So Control K, Control V, and now